Hello, good afternoon, students. Um, I am your professor, Fabio Jose Bordarrocha, in this case, presenting for all of you. This class, the number 8 class, this session is about vocabulary didactics for high advanced learners. Um, the topic we are going to study right now in this occasion is the best vocabulary learners may use of one or two really good specific vocabulary for learning strategies. The goals presenting or planning for all of you is encourage students to use of language learning strategies, guess unknown English words meaning from real context, use morphology, word parts, infer the meaning by the context. The materials we are going to use is the textbooks vocabulary myth applying second language research to classroom teaching. Okay, the activities plans for all of you is about an exercise that you have to read. It's a paragraph about the importance of vocabulary development. Discuss with a partner the question below. The importance of vocabulary development. You need to read all of these aspects of the reading in order to comprehend. Remember that if you are reading something, you need to identify key vocabulary, identify get some word that you don't know the meaning and try to guess the meaning by context, and also try to identify some connector or some word that you don't know, and you try to comprehend at all. Okay, this is the key concept. You need to identify the differences in every vocabulary development. You need to read all of this information. Also, we have to identify the vocabulary affects, how the vocabulary affects reading development. You need to read all of these in order to identify the most important aspect of the class. Incidental and intentional vocabulary learning. You need to read all of these. Intentional vocabulary learning. Here we have at the end of this reading the question, control question, what are the best strategies which you can use to teach vocabulary in your classroom? What are vocabulary strategies? And what strategies do you follow to learn and practice vocabulary? Here we have to find 5 tips for improving student vocabulary. What kind of vocabulary learning strategy do you use to learn academic vocabulary? And what are the 4 types of vocabulary? Remember to practice this exercise because it will help you to identify unspecific information for in this session. What are the fun ways to introduce vocabulary? And what are the five fun ways to teach vocabulary? And here we have a diagram about vocabulary learning strategies, discovery strategies. Here we have determination strategy and social strategies. This is a consolidation strategy, social strategies, cognitive strategies, and memory strategies, metacognitive strategies. Here we have also a vocabulary and academic achievement, instructional strategy for ELL student, and the strategy 1 is a label objects. Strategy 2 is word for word walls, and strategy 3 is pop culture iconography. The strategy 4 weekly word charts. Here we have a sheet of the week, vocabulary sheet of the week. It's very useful if you want to organize some activity, for example, in order to recognize different activities that you can plan in a week, for example. The strategy 5, context clue. What should you learn new vocabulary? How your vocabulary help in a fluently conversation? How many words do you consider it necessary to learn before to have an ideal conversation? What is the importance of having a good vocabulary? How do you avoid confusion in a real conversation? And how vocabulary affect comprehension? We have also morphology linguistic. Here we have different information that is very useful for you if you try to identify the most important part in this session. What is the concept of morphology? What is the morphology and its types? What is morphology? Explain this example. And what is the function of morphology? What are the different types of morphology? How is morphology used in the classroom? And here we have an evaluated exercise that is very important for you if you try to do the exercises in the platform or here in this session, okay? All of these exercises are very useful for you. You have an exercise that is filling the gaps using modal can, and must, okay? All of these is very important. All of these activities are very important in order that you can do the exercises, okay? Complete the sentences below with the appropriate phrasal verb tense. Phrasal verb, here you have different kind of phrasal verbs you are going to use in this homework, okay? Please try to do also drag the words into the correct boxes. You need to fill in the blank all of this information, and it's very important to use it. I hope you can do all the exercises, try to do the exercises in the platform and also the exercises and in the lesson, and try to do the assignment, please. Okay, try to do everything. I hope you can do everything, okay? Thank you so much for attending my class.